Hey, hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming back. And today I'm going to be talking about the difference between Bitcoin and the paper money and fiat money, as you call it. So, to understand the difference between Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies and the fiat money that we have, we just need to first understand the history of money. So, if you go back about 100 years back or so, uh, everything was traded in gold and silver, and there was no money as such. So that gold and silver was money. And then the civilization evolved, and as the society evolved, we found out that the gold and silver is not something that can be traded on day-to-day basis, and also with everybody, because everybody cannot have gold, everybody cannot have silver. So we came out with a solution. So the governments were formed, and they came out with a solution that why not let's print it on a page on a paper, and let's call that a money. And initially, when they printed the money, it was as per the gold reserve, as per the silver reserve. I'm not sure whether that still holds true, but I don't think so. Um, so it was decided that since gold and silver is difficult to trade, let's print a paper and let's call that money. So that is how the money, the paper money that we use right now, is into circulation. Now, with the paper money, there is a central authority like our government who actually decides how much to print every year. And if you have observed, we talk about inflation every year. In fact, it is not inflation, it is the value of the fiat money which is going down. So, for example, a house, a property, which was earlier for 10 lakh rupees, now is worth 1 crore rupees. It's the same house, it's the same property. It's just that the value of fiat money has gone down. So now, instead of paying 10 lakh, now you have to pay them 1 crore rupees. There is no structural change in the house, there is no structural in the property. So, and the reason it happens is because there is no cap on the supply. The government can decide to print anytime and put in the circulation. However, the resources are limited here, and there are more and more people are going to be asking for those resources. So let me come back to the point again. So what are the difference between Bitcoin and the paper money? While I'm comparing fiat money and the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, I also want to compare gold with it, along with it, because I believe gold is money which is universally accepted. Everybody across the globe knows that gold is the real money. So let's talk about that. The first one is the portability. Gold, is it portable? Not not so much. If you talk about fiat money, yes, it's portable. You can carry around the fiat money. What about cryptocurrency? Bitcoin? Yes, it is very much portable. It lives in your phone, it lives in your computer. Durable? Gold is highly durable, so is fiat money. I wouldn't really say it's durable, because anything you can actually paper, it's after all it's a paper, so it can be spoiled. What about cryptographic? What about Bitcoin? It's highly durable. Let's talk about scarcity. This is the biggest feature of money, because if the money is not the only reason why gold is so precious and universal accepted is because it's precious. Uh, there is a limited quantity of gold. But if you compare this with the same fiat money, the paper money, it is not limited. The government can decide to print it anytime and put it in the market, put it in their country. To give you an example, I hear this story quite a few times that the Zimbabwean dollar, which was a $1 trillion note, all you could buy with $1 trillion note was a dozen of eggs. So that $1 trillion fiat money was not, was nothing more than a dozen of eggs. It has lost completely its value. So this is what happens when you have unlimited supply of fiat money. If you go on printing paper money, there'll be one day when the things will not be available, even if you're paying a crore rupees or $1 trillion what happens in Zimbabwe. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is there is a limited number of Bitcoin, so there can only be 21 million Bitcoin, not more than that. So now it is just opposite of fiat money, as fiat money is losing its value and Bitcoin is gaining its value if you look at the history for the last 8 years. Secondly, it's decentralized. What do I mean by decentralized? Let me tell you that. The fiat money is a centralized money. What happens is the government can decide to do anything with the money. They can print as much as they want, they can ban it, they can do whatever they want. Like something that happened in India recently, the rupees 500 notes and the 1000 rupees notes were banned. I understand that this initiative was for a very good cause, to basically save everybody from black money. However, even the common man had to suffer. All of a sudden, the 500 rupees, 1000 rupees had no value because there is a central authority who is actually regulating it. When it comes to Bitcoin, there is no central authority. It runs on a protocol. It's a decentralized currency. It is accepted across the globe. It runs on algorithm. It runs on mathematics. So there is no central server where the Bitcoin is kept or released. Third, if you talk about, and this is the most important one, like I had told you earlier, the money has evolved as per the society needs, as per the civilization needs. So just understand, let's go back in the history again. So when we moved from gold and silver to paper money, why? For what? Because it was not feasible for us to actually trade in gold and silver anymore, and so we had an alternative, so we decided to print money. Paper money was good until now, but from now on, or in the recent couple of years, there have been people who have taken advantage of fiat money. In terms, there have been duplication of the fiat money. The biggest government, the biggest banks have taken advantage of it. And also, in day-to-day life, if you see today, we do most of the transactions online, on internet. I understand that fiat money can be converted into e-money, but that still doesn't take the fact that it is still a fiat money which is centralized and printed by the government, and there is unlimited supply. Whereas Bitcoin is the currency, is the money which can be held in your phone and in your computer, and for all your transactions online, it is easily accessible. The biggest difference is with the fiat money, if you're traveling around the world, when you want to transfer some money to somebody outside your country, you have to take the help of a bank. You have to go with the cross currency. That is not the case with the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is universally recognized. The cryptocurrencies are universally recognized. They don't belong to one country or one nation. So they are global money and they can be transferred across the globe. Unlike the fiat money, which is only relevant to a particular country. So considering all of these factors, I really believe now this is the time for a change. We are heading towards the biggest change ever, which is in terms of money. The internet had changed everything. Now the internet is changing money. This money is based on something bigger than internet called blockchain, where everything is decentralized, where nobody owns your money. You are the owner of your money and you decide what you do with money. It gives you enough privacy and it doesn't reveal your information to unnecessary parties or institution who doesn't need to know who you are. So these are the reasons which I think that cryptocurrency or the cryptographic money is better than the fiat money in order to make a better civilization, and this is the biggest change, and nobody has ever been able to stop a change. So that's it for now. I hope you got value from this video, and if you have any questions, comments, do let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you in my next video. Thank you.